Welcome to Zimbabwe Career Connect podcast powered by Education Matters. I'm your host, Sibusisi Mkwakwami, and on this podcast, we're dedicated to accelerating internationally educated Zimbabweans, students, recent graduates, and experienced professionals into careers of impact here in Zimbabwe and across Africa. We bring you stories, insights, and practical advice from people who've navigated the transition from internships to graduate training positions and professional placements, all through our our program at no cost, career focused support, powered also at the moment for Mastercard Foundation scholars through the Africa Career Networks. So we're really excited. Each week we really share like inspiring success stories from past interns and alumni, career strategies and industry tips relevant to Zimbabwe and the wider continent, and guidance on everything from like resume building, networking to securing placements and thriving when you return home. So whether you're a Zimbabwean who's currently studying abroad or a recent international graduate or a refugee seeking to contribute back home, you will find these tools, connections, and confidence to fast track your career. So we're really excited. Let's dive in and connect talent to transformation. Let's dive into today's podcast. And I am so excited for the guest that we have today, Molife Chaplain. We're really excited to have you. Welcome, Molife. Give us a short introduction of who you are.
Thank you, Sue. As you heard, my name is Molife Chaplain. I am used to different pronunciations. So people call me Molife, 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 and some of the variations I do not understand. And so obviously I am Zimbabwean. Don't mind the surname. Very Zimbabwean, born and raised. I graduated with my undergrad in 2020 from Ashesi University, and in 2021 with my master's in computer science from Arizona State University. Um, I interned in 2018 with the Zimbabwe Career Connect at Untu Microfinance. At that time, it was building to become one of the largest microfinance institutions in Zimbabwe. I think they're nearly there. Yeah.
Wow, that's exciting. That's so exciting. Now I don't know which of the pronunciations to use. Okay, let's go with Molif for now. All right. So, Molif, in 2018, when you were interning, what year were you in college? You were at Ashesi at this time. What year were you in?
Yes, I was in the Chess. I was in my third year, my
Third
third year of
year.
college.
Really
Yes.
lovely. Awesome. I did internship in my second year. I think my third year as well.
Yeah.
All right, great. So, why did you apply? You did it through the Zimbabwe
Mhm.
Career Connect, right? And why did you apply through the Zimbabwe Career
Yes,
Connect?
yes.
And what were you hoping to gain from it at that time?
Hmm. Um, I think the reason why I applied through the ZCC was because it made it easy. It's you're an expatriate, you're a student learning in an outside country. You want to come and intern home so that you gain market experience. So you need like a conduit to usher you back in some system that makes it easy for you to apply to get acclimated to the system, and that takes away the hustle and bustle. So ZCC really did that. And obviously, when you're coming back, we all leave the country blue-eyed. We have this sparkle in our eye. We want to go, we want to learn, we want to come back, we want to
Yeah.
change the whole country. Yes,
Yeah.
you think you will change everything. And I think that was the goal. I wanted to come back so that I could know where the problems were
Yeah.
and then have an opportunity to come back and change those situations.
Wow, big dreams. And why not, right? You were young, ambitious. Why not? That is
Yep.
so exciting, Wally. So exciting. And I really like the reason why you applied through Zimbabwe Career Connect was simply because it's easier to do that way. I used
Yes.
to have a former boss. He was such a mentor to me who would say to me,
Mhm.
Sibu, you don't need to reinvent the wheel. You don't have to create a new path. Like if there's an easy way to do something, go for it. If you're gonna go
Yep.
through a way that already has networks, where you can be placed, where you can get support, why not? So that's what
Mhm.
Zimbabwe Career
That
Connect
is
is
very true.
here for. Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Exciting. So yeah, let's move on to our next question, Molive. So like what was your
Mhm.
day-to-day like during the internship? Like what kind of work were you doing? It sounds like it's such
Ah,
a really exciting place, in the financial sector, yeah.
so I was in the financial sector, but as a computer science student, I obviously was
Ah,
doing tech.
yeah.
So I was in IT. So my work ranged from IT support, helping people when their laptops are not working and they just need to restart them. Uh, Sometimes telling a few people that they need to plug in their laptop because it's out of power. Um, but it also involved learning about the microfinance space and the interactions it has with technology and understanding how microfinance interacts with other platforms like EcoCash, banking sector. Um, and I also managed to build an application, which I
Wow.
didn't finish because time, but I started to, I ideated an application that would allow easy loan tracking and other loan stuff that I thought needed to be done easily.
Wow, wow, wow. That sounds so exciting.
Yeah.
You know what, Molif, in
Hmm.
my former role
Hmm.
where I was working, I used to be like besties with the IT people, two of them. And I don't know,
Hmm.
maybe because I always had IT problems and not, plugging in my computer. But I was always in
Yeah.
their office. But that's so exciting that you even created
Hmm.
created an application during your internship. Of course, because of time, you didn't complete it, but still, that's amazing
Hmm.
stuff. Wow,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
And even just the trust that they also gave you, that is quite exciting.
Hmm.
So yeah, like how
Yes.
further, I want to kind of extend to that to say, so how did that
Hmm.
internship then challenge you or like stretch your skills? And were there any moments where you felt like you were out of your comfort zone? It feels like you were
Yes.
flying, like already creating an app, but like, did you feel any challenges or stretching of your skills? And yeah,
Yes, yes, definitely. So, like I said, because I was working in IT, it meant I had to interact with people.
yeah.
Um, and while I am seemingly a good public speaker, I am not very good with people.
Mm.
So, yes, not at all. So, I came up with a rule. One of the rules that I had, which I then took into the future when I worked at Amazon and Magnolia Capital, was
Yeah.
I never work on the same problem twice.
Wow.
Yes. So if
Okay.
someone came to me with their problem, I solved it and I solved it once. And
Wow.
so that ideology then forced me to expand my skill set. So you would find me when I was done with my assignments for the day, I would be Googling things, like trying to project what a normal human being would mess up on their computer or what we could get asked by people we need to support so that I already have it at my fingertips and I know how to work with it. So it taught me what I would call future sight, sort of like think like the consumer. It's
Wow.
actually a part of computing where you think like the consumer. And there were times when I felt like I was out of my comfort zone. Like the whole thing with talking to people and having to be like, no, breathe. That is not how it works. It works like this. And they're like, I don't understand. And you're like, but I understand. So listen to me.
Exactly. I know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
so
So there were moments like those, but I think having that guiding philosophy where I'm like, I will only solve a problem once and be done with it, made it easy to then be like, if I feel like I'm in out of my comfort zone, I can then be like, let me take a step back. This is a normal human being who is not
wow.
tech based. How do I explain it to them so that they understand it and don't have to come back to me with the same problem?
Wow, that sounds like so exciting. When you say it, I feel like, man, what am I doing? Why did I study development studies? I should have studied computer science too, because it just feels like you guys like really solve real problems and like really help people. And people are like, thank you so much. I was struggling with my computer. I was struggling with this. It really feels like like you really solve the real challenges. Yeah, that's exciting.
Mhm, mhm,
Wow, wow.
mhm.
So yeah, looking back, what do you think you did during your internship that kind of helped you stand out? I mean, of course, the application, right? But like, yeah, tell us more if you want to talk more about that or something else. What made you stand out during your internship? Look, now you've gone on to work at Amazon, amazing places. What, even right there when you're at the internship level made you stand out?
Um, I was an overachiever.
Wow. You were not
I
sleeping,
think
bro.
it's
Yeah.
no. I wasn't. It's always funny. Like
Yeah.
I'm still friends with the people I met during that internship. My
Wow.
former IT manager, I still talk to him. When I came back and I was thinking of coming back, I actually spoke to him. He's like, "No, apply for these jobs. I know they'll take you. It will go with my recommendation." And this is
Wow.
someone I haven't spoken to in like 2, 3 years, and yet he
Wow.
still felt that from that experience he would recommend me.
Wow.
And I think it was that I wanted to achieve. I had questions, I needed answers. I asked, why is this way when
Wow.
I think it could be this way? And because he was
Wow.
experienced, sometimes he had answers. And sometimes he would just be like, well, try doing it that way. Let's see if it works.
Wow. And
Yeah.
I
So
kind of like this. Yeah.
Mhm. I wanted to achieve a lot. And yeah, I think it's him being there as my IT manager and having the team that I had and the whole company in essence, because the CEO, even Clive, was very supportive. I remember there was a time I told him that he's the reason his laptop is not working. And he looked at me and he says, I'm your CEO. And I'm like, yeah, and I'm the expert at IT. So I think, yeah, you should listen to me on this one.
That is so funny. That is so, so funny. Wow, wow. Yeah, that's the thing with the IT. Like you're so and with especially with Zimbabwe, we're still learning, right? In certain places,
Mhm.
some people know a little bit, even though they may not be in the IT sector. In some other places also, it feels a bit like people will be still learning. So there's really like huge gap between you, the experts, and the people you're helping. Yeah, so it's quite
Mhm.
interesting, and people are like, we don't really understand the problem, we don't know even the
Yeah.
solution. But you also have this situation where you're working with someone who's like way older than you, or like it's your big boss, and you have
Mhm.
to help them. And sometimes you have to like really argue
Mhm.
with them because they sometimes think they know, but you're like, no, wait, I'm the
Yep.
expert, right? You hired me to do this.
Yep.
It's
That
crazy.
is very true.
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, tell me a little bit about the soft skills part. So, how did you build meaningful relationships with mentors or colleagues
Mhm.
while you were interning?
Um, I think there's always this fear when you get to a new place. You're
Yeah,
like, how do I fit in? Where do I
yeah,
find my space? And
yeah.
I think, like I said, me being the introvert that I am, where like I get around people, I'm like, stick to your laptop, stick to your books.
Mm,
But I think the first step was being like, yeah, it's not going to work. That was the first step. Just
yeah,
told myself it's not going to work.
yeah,
Lift your head, look at people, see people.
yeah,
That's the only way they can see you. So I actually actively spoke to people. I met a few awkward ones.
yeah.
I remember one of the most fascinating interactions that led me to, I think, meeting the greatest person I've ever met in my entire life. Was I went to the cafeteria,
Yeah.
you know, kitchen. It was a kitchen. I wanted tea, made myself a cup of tea. So I'm standing in the kitchen. It's chilly. I have a jacket on. I'm drinking my cup of tea. This young lady comes in. She's about
Yeah.
2 years younger than me. She's also doing an internship because she's from UZ.
Yeah.
And she walks up to me. She's like, hi. I'm like, hi. And then she's like, question.
Yeah.
What is your skincare routine? I'm like,
Whoa.
what is this question?
Yeah, interesting.
I'm like, what is this question? She's like, yeah, your skin looks flawless. What is your skincare routine? I'm like,
Wow.
soap and water and a towel.
Yeah.
And we we're getting married this year. And
Wow. That is so cool. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. We need another podcast.
yes.
just on this one. Oh my goodness. Wow.
Yes. So it's those experiences where you're like, if I had not laughed, or if we had not made a joke out of that, a joke which
Yeah.
we still laugh about today,
Yeah.
if we had not if we had not maintained the friendship over years, if I
Yeah.
had not uh, continued speaking to Clive, who I still speak to,
Yeah.
if I had not continued speaking to my former manager. So I think
Yeah.
it was me being like actively saying I need to interact with people, but
Mhm.
also then being humble enough to realize that they will not always interact with me in my terms
Wow.
or at my turf.
Wow.
And then I will meet them where we can interact together.
Wow. That is so interesting. Wow. And congratulations that you're almost getting married. That is so, so
Thank
exciting.
you.
You have a really, really, really cool, like, how we first met. Like, first
Yes,
hello.
I
Oh my
do.
goodness. Oh, wow. That is so
I
cool.
do.
So cool. Wow. So, yeah, was there any moment in your internship where you realized that, I'm interning here right now. I'm young. I'm only like a third year student, but this could actually turn into something bigger. Like, did you ever feel that?
Not in the moment, which is
Okay.
funny.
Mm-hmm.
Not in the moment, but they say hindsight is 2020.
Right?
Looking back,
Yeah.
though, that's
Yeah.
when you're like, oh, so that's actually fed and led to this. And I'll give an example of the application
Yeah.
where I didn't wait for my manager to tell me. I just was like, oh, I think this would be cool. Let me do it.
Wow. Wow.
Um, when then you fast forward into my career at Amazon,
Yeah.
um, second month or so, I was working on the Amazon video devices and team, and I'm like, I think the videos are buffering too much, and we take too much time to
Yes.
get to a solution. What
Yes.
is it?
Yes.
I looked back, tried to problem solve, tried to troubleshoot, and realized that our logging was not as perfect as I thought it would be. So
Yes.
redesigned the logging system, came up with a different logging system, percentile logging. We got to a point where we could trace back the actual frame where the video was bugging. And
Wow.
that was my simple legacy at Amazon. And so
Wow.
it points back to that where you're like, I see a problem.
Yes.
I don't like how this works. How
Yes.
do I solve it?
Wow. Wow. I like that. I like that. Wow, wow, wow. That's
Yeah,
amazing. And
yeah, yeah.
so like what kind of specific
Mhm.
actions did you take during or like after your internship that kind of helped you also like of course at the internship you're in Zimbabwe, financial institution, IT, but like what is your what how do you connect that internship to like, now when you've been at bigger places? Like, do you feel any connections there? Like, how do the internship benefit you for current opportunities? How did it prepare
Mm,
prepare you in a way? Like,
um,
yeah, what connections do you see?
yeah, I think one would be the whole concept of taking initiative.
Yes.
I think we live in a world where most people don't take initiative. We're willing to take instruction
Yeah.
and perform tasks,
Yes.
but we don't take initiative, which is where I think it's when we were at Ashesi, we did entrepreneurship, and the thing was innovation is problem solving. You find a problem, you solve it creatively, and you have
Wow.
innovated. And
Wow.
so I think that's one of the important things where it's like um, I had to innovate. Yeah,
Wow.
actually had to take initiative, learn to take initiative. I think the second thing would be that which I use now and which I used when I switched careers from Amazon is you're you're not a stagnant career statistic. You may have graduated with a degree in, let's say, electrical engineering,
Yes.
network. a degree in, let's say, electrical engineering.
Yes.
Yeah, network had done its thing again.
No problem. We can continue.
Yes, yes. So you may have graduated with a career in with a degree in electrical engineering. That doesn't mean you have to stay an electrical engineer. You can end up uh, a business person. You may have gone to, what's it called, Brown University,
Mm,
and you decided to take calligraphy as a class, and you end up being the CEO of Apple.
mm,
Your degree in itself is not the defining factor. It's a guide. You
yes.
can use your degree in any field you choose to end up in. So, as a computer scientist, you can end up in the medical field. As a development studies expert, you can end up in tech.
Yeah.
It's you are a dynamic creature.
Oh,
You
yes.
choose to use the tools you have the way you want to use them. A spade can dig a hole. It can also be used in war. So
Yep. Yeah.
you need to be dynamic. And I
Wow.
think the final lesson, the final action that I think is, no matter what you do, just keep trying.
Wow.
It's about perseverance. You
Yes.
you can't you cannot give up on what you want and on who you know you are.
Wow.
It's actively every day choosing to be like, oh, I am this person, and I am this person. I want this, and I'm going to keep going for it. So if it means sending out 100 applications a day, do it. If it means pestering mentors and code applying and code calling people, do it.
Yes.
But at least always make sure you are acting. And I think that's the important thing, is to act. No matter what the action is, just act.
Wow. I love that. I love that because I'm also like that. I just want to move, move, move. That's exciting. And I really like what you talked about taking initiative. You know, when you're in a job or a role, internship, it's so easy to just go with the flow. So, okay, today you were given this task, you work on that. And I think part of it is because somehow, also, I think social media is taking a lot of our time. You know, you end up looking at
Yeah,
your WhatsApp, your Facebook, friends, everything, and we don't tend to want to invest more time than we are asked to, because taking initiative usually means also investing a little bit more time, like it's really
yeah,
it really shows the depth of the commitment and devotion to the opportunity you have at hand. So I think something
mhm,
that I would actually even like tell if someone is interning is like make sure you really are in the place that you love, the internship that is something that you really love, that you can really devote even extra time to. If you don't feel like you would devote extra time to it, don't do it, because then it's just going to be something that you just did like to tick the box. I did an internship, but not it won't change your life.
yeah,
Or so like, yeah, I really take to be able to take initiative. It's giving that extra time, being totally devoted to the role also. That's really exciting. So yeah, tell me
yeah,
something.
yeah,
Do you feel that
yeah.
having had international education,
Mm,
like you went to Ashesi before, you like during the time that you were doing your internship, having this international education, did that give you an
mm.
advantage, or do you feel like you still needed to like adapt to the expectations in a Zimbabwean work environment? So like, what did you feel like? Oh, because I went to Ashesi, this gives me an advantage. But what else did you also feel like, oh man, because I was not in Zimbabwe all these years, I could do better at this, like what were the highs, the lows?
Um, I think, okay. Um, I think one of the main highs would be the whole initiative aspect of it. Like, you are taught you need to innovate within your team.
Yeah.
problem with that is you seem like you're also hello, Sue.
Yes, more life. You can just respond to that question, so we have it in like the complete response.
Okay. So I was saying, you you always at Ashesi, you're taught to be an innovator. So you have initiative. You want to fix things. You want to solve problems. Uh, that's a double-edged sword in Zimbabwe because there are certain problems people don't want solved. There's a status quo, which everyone wants to maintain, and you coming with your novelty solution, they're like, no, 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 no. So I had to learn like how to package a solution such that it then looks like it's going to help the person who I know resist the solution.
So that it has
Um,
buy-in.
and then Yes,
Yeah,
you need the buy-in of the market and the people,
yeah,
right? You're like,
yeah,
wait, if we do it this way, it will help you to make work easy for you,
yeah.
because then you stop them from thinking, oh, it's covering my channels for getting a few dollars, eh? So
Yeah.
you solve a problem properly. And I think the other
Exactly.
thing was time.
Yeah.
Um, I'm a very timiest person.
Okay.
You tell me to be at a meeting uh, at 8:30, I'm there at 8:15.
Yeah.
Uh, I I like being at ease when I start everything. So I like being in time. Not on time.
Yeah.
On time is too much for me. In
Yeah.
time.
Okay.
Yes. And I respect people's time.
Wow.
She's not exactly a thing back home.
Yeah.
In Yeah, no, Zimbabweans will be like, "Oh, I'll meet you at 10," and then it's 10:45, and they get there, and they're like, "Hey, anyway, so let's get started," and you're like, "You're late."
Say sorry.
No apologizing, nothing. And so I think it was those two things.
Yeah.
They were both. I think I picked those two because they were double-edged swords. There were
Right.
things where you're like, this is very useful for me. It helps
Mm,
me, but
mm.
it's also creating a problem where I then end up being frustrated with other people. And so I think the biggest challenge then becomes finding a balance between the two, maintaining the excellence you're called to, and also trying to accommodate everyone else around you.
Wow, wow, that is so deep. Thank you for sharing. We had a good laugh at African time. So, what advice, Molly, what advice, Molly, would you give to someone who's going to their 2 month or 3 month internship, who wants to convert that opportunity into like a future job or long-term connection? What advice would you give to someone, who's going to intern?
Number one, connect.
Connect, yeah.
Connect with everyone,
Mm,
connect everywhere, connect anyhow. It
wow.
could be the janitor, it could be the MC, it could be the
Thank you.
accounting lady.
Yes.
Connect with everyone.
Wow. I love
Yes,
that.
that is one of the most important lessons.
I love, 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 love that.
Connect.
To be honest, I think
Yes,
my biggest wins in life have been because of connection, and just that,
yes,
it doesn't matter who it is, whether it's the janitor or whoever it is, you don't know how much value they bring you in the future. And also, it's not even about the value, it's not about the transaction. It's just the person you become when you can connect with everyone at every level. You only become
yeah,
better. And sometimes you get the greatest
yeah,
wisdom from people who are not at like high level strata in an organization. So I love that. Thank you. Yeah, Molif,
yeah,
tell
yeah.
me, I know we only have
That is
like
very true.
we only have like 10 minutes left. So we're going to cruise
Mhm.
through our last three questions. But what has stayed with you from your internship experience even now? I know, for example, right now you just say connect. Would that be it, or anything else? Like, what do you feel like has stayed with you?
The versatility that's necessary to be successful in life. Uh,
Okay.
I was doing IT
Yeah.
in a microfinance institution. I
Yeah.
was interacting with marketing. I was
Yeah.
interacting with accounting. So that versatility
Yeah.
allows you to shape shift when the market and the world calls for it. Because right now I'm not even mostly doing technology. I'm
Yeah.
doing management. And
Yeah.
that shift came about because I already had some prior working on it. So
Wow.
versatility. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. That is really awesome. I like that. And then why do you think it's important for Zimbabwean students who are abroad to come back home and gain local experience, even if it's just for a few months? What value is there?
It's it's either reinforces your biases or it breaks them down.
Tell me more. I'm interested.
Yes. So if you're learning in the US,
Yeah.
your thinking is this solution will help Africa. So for example, applications. I'll give a
Yeah.
tech-based example.
Yeah.
Applications. Most people would study tech outside. They're like, we should take this application back to Zimbabwe. It will help everyone. Healthcare applications. But you get to Zimbabwe and the common man's problem is that their internet is terrible. So
Yeah.
your application becomes obsolete.
That's so true. That is so
Yes.
true. That is so
So
true.
it breaks down your bias. You're like tech, 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 and the network is like, no, we don't allow this here. Don't do that.
Yeah.
So now you have to come up with a different solution. And so
Wow.
coming back home allows you to stop seeing things through tinted lenses. It actually
Wow.
gives you a proper perspective. And if you want to change society, you actually need that proper perspective.
I love that. Wow. So deep. So deep. So yeah, finally, my last question.
Mhm, mhm,
What would you say to a second year or third year student who's listening right now and wondering whether it's
mhm.
worth applying for this internship in the future? What would you say to them?
I would say, if you remember your mom telling you not to steal sugar when you were young,
I always
if
weird that sugar.
yes, if you remember that, if you also remember your mom telling you not to play with fire,
Yeah.
and as a grown up, you've got to situations where you were trusted with something and you realize I should not steal this sugar,
Yeah.
or you got into a situation and you were like, I should not touch this fire, then an internship is very important. It
Wow.
is the career equivalent of your mom saying, don't steal the sugar, don't touch the
Wow.
fire.
Wow.
Because regardless of how you look at it, that lesson will always be important somewhere in the future.
Wow. 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 That is so deep. So, so deep. I really love you know, this conversation. I genuinely enjoyed talking to you, Molif. I learned a lot. Of course, I'm, midlife in my profession as well, but I learned so
Mhm,
much and
mhm.
just the humor we shared. Thank you so much for making time to be our guest today. We really, really, really loved talking to you. And yeah, we are so excited as Zimbabwe Career Connect to be able to give you that opportunity to intern. We really want to expand our program. Right now it's happening during the summer, but we may even expand further. We really, really want to be able to give that opportunity to as many people as possible. So we are really happy. And again, more life, more leaf. Thank you so much. More life to you, bro. More life to you.
Thank you. Thank you,
Yeah, thank you
Sue.
so
Thank you
much.
for having me. I
Yeah,
enjoyed this.
yeah, it was really awesome.
Looking forward to seeing other interns doing this as well.
Yeah, totally, totally. We learned
Yeah,
so much.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
Education Matters is so grateful. Our audience is so grateful that we had you. We learned a lot, and we just looking forward to seeing, how much like more and more of your successes, and yeah, having more conversations even in that regard as well. Yeah, any last words as we close out,
Definitely.
as we close out?
Uh, yes, I think it's this program is a little ray of hope in the future of Zimbabwe.
Wow.
It may not seem like it's doing much, but you plant a tree today and you eat the fruits 10 years later. So
Wow.
just keep doing what you're doing.
I
Just keep doing exactly what you're doing.
I think so too. And we're so grateful for, Mrs. Mano, Betty, who've been running with the
Hmm.
program ahead. I just joined, but it's amazing.
Yeah,
I really see the same that you
yeah.
see that this is a powerhouse opportunity.
Mhm.
There's always talk of like, oh, there's brain drain when people leave the country. So this opportunity where we have, people coming back, mid
Mhm.
in their studies, coming back with what they've learned, but also mixing that with what they can learn from Zimbabwe with the context and taking that back even to the classroom and saying, this works in this context, but
Yeah,
this wouldn't work is amazing.
yeah.
And yeah, it's priceless. So awesome. Oh my goodness. Thank you, more leaf, more life. uh, and yeah, so excited then. And until next time, bye
Till next time. Bye.
bye.